So yesterday we got at least a bit of a reveal from the Hunter Call the Wild on their social media pages. Of course, about a week ago we had the original teaser for all this, where they said we don't want to keep you in the dark any longer, and a lot of people were speculating, including myself, maybe night vision, thermal scope, something of that nature. But now we see in the GIF a pair of night vision binoculars being used on Medved Taiga, but the more interesting thing to me is the wording they used where they said the high-tech hunting pack will be coming soon. So, I mean, that sounds like multiple items. And, yeah, I was gonna make this video anyway, but I thought I would ask you guys for your input on yesterday's live stream. So, I put down a lot of what you guys kind of suggested as a potential addition to this hunting pack. And even if these aren't things that are added, they're things that I'd kind of want to see added to the game anyway at some point. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of go through them. And I did put them in two different categories. Things that I think are pretty likely to be added, and things that are maybe more of a stretch. By the way, a night vision scope, I could almost guarantee that's going to be in this. Like, to give us a night vision pair of binoculars and not night vision scope would be weird. So that seems pretty likely. And then Truro. I kind of forgot about them, but they were meant to be released with the True patch, and then they got delayed, and the way they've released True Rack Animals has been pretty much with every update, so I would expect Truro to be ready. I don't think they've said anywhere that they are, but I'm pretty sure they should be coming out with this update. At least that would make sense. Now we're getting into things that are maybe a little more of a stretch. Night Vision Rangefinder, a lot of you guys suggested that, and it's an interesting idea. I don't know if that's a thing, but if you look at the GIF, there is no, like, range-finding reticle on the night vision binoculars, so maybe? I mean, I guess if you're bow hunting at night, you gotta be able to find the range somehow, so maybe that's a thing. Speaking of bows, this is my favorite idea. I don't know if it really fits. That's a gold. Huh. Anyway, I don't know if it really fits with the whole we don't want to keep you in the dark any longer necessarily. It kind of does, but you guys were saying tracer rounds, and then specifically we sort of moved to lighted knocks. That's more interesting to me than the tracer rounds, but both are cool. If there is one thing to get me bow hunting in this game again, it would be lighted knocks. That's a thing in Classic, and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things, getting to see the arrow fly, getting to see it impact where you're trying to aim, especially longer shots. It's the coolest thing to watch that arrow flying through the air long range. So that's something I'd really, really love to see added. Like I said, I don't know if it really fits this theme, especially with the night vision being kind of the main thing. Man, that would be really, really cool, and I would actually bow hunt again. So this actually makes more sense the more I think about it. But another one of the most popular things you guys were talking about was trail cams. And I mean, most of your trail cam pictures, at least in real life, would be at night, and it would allow you to kind of scout areas that you maybe don't want to or wouldn't otherwise, especially at night when maybe you don't like hunting. I mean, I don't like hunting at night, but if I could have a trail cam somewhere, that would at least allow me to sort of check out an area without actually having to go there. Even with all the potential night vision equipment we might be getting, I still don't think I'd night hunt that often. But, you know, having a trail cam, like, let's just say, for this lake. This is a pretty good lake for elk. There's elk here all the time, if you're curious, by the way. This one, top right of Latent Lakes. I don't know if coyotes, like, I know coyotes are in this area. Maybe they drink here at night. Maybe I could throw a trail camera on that tree and find out. It would be cool. I don't know how they'd implement it. That would be difficult. I think it's a stretch. But, hey, I mean, they called it a high-tech pack. That's a pretty high-tech form of scouting using trail cameras, so I'm at least hopeful that could be a thing, even if not with this pack, sometime in the future. And that's kind of the fun of this video. Like I said, even if these things aren't being added, I'd like to see them eventually anyway. Anyway, night hunting, all that stuff. A new weapon of some kind kind of made sense for this. This might be a stretch too, but most of your night hunting in real life would be for predators, and we don't have much in terms of predator weapons. We have the 223, but that's about it. So a lot of you guys were talking about like a 223 semi-auto, something like that. I also thought maybe a 17 HMR. It doesn't necessarily have to be something you'd use at night, but hey, you know, maybe, again, taking the high-tech thing a little far. Who knows? So then, two things that already are in the Hunter Classic. So I think it's likely they could be added at any point, because they have said pretty much everything from the Hunter Classic will make its way to Call of the Wild eventually. So a spotting scope, which I just think would be really useful. I mean, our binoculars go up to, I don't know, 7 or 8 power probably, and the best scope is 16. In Classic, the best spotting scope is 30 power, and the render distance is not as far. So for especially things like coyotes, fox, ducks, small animals, it would be really nice to have that spotting scope, because so often you can't even spot them with the binoculars. You have to get the Argus scope. It would just be nice to not have to use a gun to be able to spot your animals. It would just be quicker and a little more maneuverable. I would definitely like it anyway. And then a e-collar. Going back to the whole idea of most of your night hunting would be for predators in real life. An e-collar for predators, like somebody was saying specifically like the Fox Pro, but we have an e-collar in Classic. It works on 3 different species at the moment. There's bobcats, lynx, and wolves. So we have at least coyotes, lynx, fox, wolves, maybe bears even. I don't know if that's a thing in real life. But there's at least enough species where you could have an e-collar and actually it be functional. I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea. That was something I didn't even consider when I started thinking over this, but once you guys suggested it, I think it's at least plausible anyway. Last thing that I think is maybe the least likely out of all this is a thermal scope. And I only say least likely because it seems they've gone the night vision route. So I wouldn't necessarily expect a thermal scope when they already went night vision binoculars. I mean, maybe for the contrast, but I think it's most likely going to be night vision scope and night vision binoculars. By the way, another side note from the video itself. This area right here, I keep shooting elk here and they keep not leaving tracks, so be careful about shooting animals here if you're doing that. Anyway, those are all of the potential additions that I wrote down, and I know I didn't get nearly everything. Like, you guys had tons of really good ideas, but hopefully I got the ones that were at least talked about in chat the most. And like I said, there are things that I want to see added to the game anyway, so why not talk about them in a video where we're already talking about stuff like that. But man, I'm just looking at that list again. Like, I really hope lighted knocks are in there. It seems kind of a stretch, to be honest, the more I think about it. But just imagine like being in a tree stand, low light, and getting to shoot a deer and seeing that lighted knock fly. Because I mean, that's pretty much what happens in real life. And the thing in Classic, I love the tracer arrows in Classic, but you don't really hunt low light. It doesn't really happen. I mean, you can't hunt into the night, so the day just ends. So that's something I'd really love to see. And even the night vision, like, I think I'd probably get some use out of that. We did that night hunting video here on Layton Lake, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and I found all those bears drinking down here in Renaki, and I really want a diamond color phase black bear. That might be a really good way to hunt for them. I mean, I really dislike hunting at night as is, but with some night vision equipment, it might actually be fun, and I think it would probably improve the quality of night hunting videos too, because it's not too bad. You know, I can see some, but by the time it goes through OBS and rendering for the video and all that, it definitely loses quality. So that would be nice. You know, in general, I'm pretty excited about this, and I want to know what you guys think. There's been a lot of different opinions that I've seen out there. But, as always, if you have different ideas from what I said, or if you agree with it, whatever, leave it in the comments below, because I'll be reading. I definitely want to see what you guys think. This is a weird opportunity. We don't usually get such a open-ended possibility for what could be added for a high-tech hunting pack. There's nearly endless possibilities, but I think I probably rambled enough for one video, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.